everybody, welcome back to the podcast of Shock Talkin with Gretchen and Camille. Big news today with Matt Lauer being fired.
Yes, I woke up to reading that and I thought, wow. And to think 20 years on that station, he was the anchor. I loved Matt Lauer. I loved Charlie Rose. But what I'm starting to realize is this is just the beginning of what we're going to start uncovering. And I will say, my little astrology background says Jupiter's in Scorpio, which means people will heal from sexual issues over this next year. And that's what I think is supposed to happen.
Well, in case you're like, I don't really know what y'all are talking about, there has been, really since this fall, there's been a huge movement of people, men and women, coming forward and taking a stand against sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Now, I will say as a woman, you as a woman and anybody out there, we've been dealing with it for a long, long time. And I'm not saying guys haven't. I just know personally what I've dealt with
me too.
From the modeling world that I've been in and the world of TV. Is it everywhere? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Here's what I'm going to say. Anybody, male or female, that does that, gets caught and has a consequence, I support that.
I do too.
And if Matt Lauer got fired because of inappropriate behavior, I support that.
I support that too.
Yeah.
I do feel like it seems quite sudden, and I'm not discounting what's happened. I don't know what's happened. I just want to see a little bit more due process. Now, this isn't Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein is, to me, an egregious pig. Just the stories I've heard, what he's done to women, this is complete domination and abuse of power. And he didn't care. He's hiring lawyers. He's hiring people to cover his tracks. It's a predator to me.
And see, that's not somebody that's sorry.
No, that is someone who's addicted to probably, power and sex. But this guy's there's a criminal mind behind that. I don't know if that's the same with Charlie Rose or Matt Lauer. I don't know the history, and I'm not discounting the women's stories. I tend to believe them.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. We've heard that before. I just want to see a little due process. I kind of think it's a scary time for powerful men if they tend to want to abuse their power. And I do see a difference in Hollywood. I do like that they're getting an immediate consequence. But I'm not seeing that in Congress.
No.
And we remember the study that what we just read about, how there's this process. Women that report sexual abuse, they have to go through 30 days of therapy, and they can't report it to a lawyer for 30 days or mediation. What was that whole thing? I'm like, Twilight Zone. Are you kidding me?
Right.
That is unheard of to me.
And once again, even though if you really want to think about what happened was abuse, not who did it. So the focus now is turned on, let's protect these congressmen. The story of the Texas congressman that, was married and having an affair, and now the person that he had an affair with has leaked out some pictures that he had sent her.
Sexting.
Well, now all of a sudden it's, what can we do to protect this congressman? What about the wife? Right. And what about the message of what's going on? Here's my take on all of this, because you don't have to be on TV. You don't have to be a sports athlete or some kind of person that demands that kind of notoriety and respect. It is what it is.
That's right.
It is what it is. I remember one time in Vegas, had my oldest daughter there. We were walking the strip. she hadn't been there. We were for a dance competition. And some guys are yelling at her. Catcalling, basically. And to me, I'm like, that's my kid.
Yeah.
She looks older, but that's my kid.
Right.
And it all starts on different levels. So from your point of view, like, what we're doing is we're not stopping the action, we're catching it already.
Yeah, it's already happened. Well, and I'll tell you, in my estimation, there has to be education. Okay. Now, we all think we know what sexual harassment is. We all think we know what we shouldn't do. But I think there's a big reminder that needs to come out. So, and I know that we've had a lot of stories out, and there's been some people fired, but this is happening probably everywhere, in local small businesses. I have my own history of sexual harassment from my employers and stuff. I actually quit jobs. I'm the one that got sacrificed because I couldn't take it,
Right.
But I do think that until there's some sort of, education and consequence for the little people still, that's going to change. And men need to get behind this. The Me Too movement's great with women saying Me Too. Okay, I'd like a handful of men, and I think we have a handful of men, but what's their movement going to be? How are they going to help stop this? Because until we have men behind this, I don't think it's going to really change.
Well, and I think, too, there's a fear with HR. There's a fear that if you report something that's inappropriate, you know, people tend to think rape is only this, or, you know, sexual assault is only this. There are many forms of abuse, and people feel like if I report that, and they find out, whoever I'm speaking of, I might lose my job, so I'm going to be quiet. I'm testifying. I've been through that for years. That I think to myself, no one's going to listen to me. They're not going to believe me.
And I need money, so I can't do this.
And I'm a single mom, so I got to, you know, I need my job, or my job will be hell when that person knows that I'm the one that reported it, because I don't really know that HR keeps that quiet.
But this is exactly what they bank on. See, this is what people that abuse their power are predatory. And rape, honestly, is about domination. It's not always about just sex. This is about control, okay? So I think men, mostly men that are doing this, they know you're codependent. They know you need that job. They know you're single. They know who you are. They know your story, and they prey upon you because they know you're going to keep your mouth shut.
Right, right.
That's what they're banking on.
Well, and let's even take it farther to people in relationships, because how many times do guys, let me just back this up. So I've been in the fashion and modeling world since I was 14 years old, and not knowing at the time what this industry is really all about. Now that I'm older, you know, I kind of go, okay, fashion really is for the approval of men. Now, I'm not saying that the gay community doesn't, all I'm saying is, when you look at the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, for instance, and it's all about boob or, you know, whatever body part, it's to please men. It's not, Camille and I don't care. Y'all aren't pleasing us. And so when you think of a cocktail dress, I just watched Miss Universe the other night with my daughter, and, you know, what do? We sensationalize things, and I'm guilty. Hey, I own things.
Sure.
I'm guilty.
Me too.
But it's cleavage, it's a slit, it's tight, it's whatever, right? And we're not wearing that for women. We know that.
No.
So my point is, when you're just even casually dating someone, you know, and they say something to you like, you know, I really would like it if you wore such and such and such and such. That's a form of humiliation, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's objectification. I mean, it's like, I want to, it doesn't objectify.
I get the language. I get what happens in a relationship, but there's a part, too, as a woman that you go, I'm more than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you need to be. And a relationship, by the way, doesn't last if it's just physical. If you're an object of their desire and, you know, they're with an object, then you're not going to feel validated and valued, and you're going to be gone. That's how it works.
That's what you call a lover.
That's right. That's right. You know, I was listening to the news, and I heard these little gymnasts that have been abused by their doctor. I just, my heart goes out to them. I feel so sad for them. That is the worst form of abuse of power that I have seen so far.
With children.
Really, really bothered me. And one of the cute little gals said something about, well, we all must dress appropriately and keep ourselves modest. And I loved that her little friend just texted something like, no, I don't care how I'm looking or how I'm dressed.
Right.
It doesn't invite that kind of abuse.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, again, that makes us the guilty party.
Exactly.
You wore that, and if it weren't for you wearing that, I wouldn't have acted this way.
That's right. And I've heard that before. Well, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah, have some self-control. That's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Figure that out. You got a problem. Maybe you need some therapy. You know, talk it through. And I don't know what's happening over there with Matt Lauer, but, you know, to me, this isn't funny. You know, you look at someone like Matt Lauer or Charlie Rose, and they are the epitome of power. And they don't look like lecherous people. Okay, I mean, 70-something years old of Charlie Rose. They look like they're clean-cut, wholesome individuals that we can trust, right?
But here's the message that I really want, especially young girls and women, to understand is, you know what? We don't need the threat of losing a job or of, you know, I will help you grow in this business or climb the ladder if you do this.
Yep.
You are good enough on your own.
Yep.
You don't have to give this away in order to get that.
That's right. Well, and here's where the total, you know, if you look at the bigger story, Women have been suppressed for years, okay? And we don't make as much money as men. That's just the truth. But isn't that part of the game? It's got to keep us down, keep us lower.
What will you do in order to earn more money?
Exactly.
Right.
And so we're kind of held hostage financially unless we perform. So it disgusts me. I can't, that to me is just, I've got a hard time with anyone trying to take control. I really do.
This is a subject we could go on and on and on. But you know what? Send us your comments. Send us some questions. Like and share. We're glad y'all were with us. We have more things coming up, so we'll see you next time.
Thank you.